A unique love story. Tom and Jerry. Once upon a time, in the shadows of a city that never truly slept, a boy named Tom was born not into a cradle of warmth and love, but into the cold corners of a broken home. His parents, once perhaps in love, had fallen apart long before he could ever remember them being together. His father was a heavy smoker, a drunkard, and a man who had made betrayal a habit. His mother, exhausted from years of heartbreak, had finally walked away, leaving behind nothing but silence and sorrow. Tom grew up without a roof of his own, sleeping on sidewalks and park benches, eating what he could find or earn by polishing shoes on street corners. While other children his age dreamed of toys and birthdays, Tom dreamed only of a warm meal and a safe place to sleep. He never went to school. Life itself became his teacher, tough, relentless, and raw. Yet despite the bleakness, his spirit never broke. Somewhere deep inside, he held onto the hope that something better waited for him beyond the next sunrise. One day, as gray clouds gathered in the sky and the rain threatened to fall, Tom sat by his usual spot in front of a bustling cafe. His fingers were calloused from work, his clothes threadbare, but his eyes still carried the stubborn shine of someone who hadn't given up. That's when she appeared, Jerry. She walked beneath a large red umbrella, her school uniform still crisp, her eyes curious and kind. Her world was so different from his. She came from a modest but stable home, raised by a father who was a diligent engineer and a mother who worked as a nurse. Jerry had rules, expectations, and a path already laid out for her. But none of that stopped her from noticing Tom. At first, it was just a glance, then a smile. Then came small conversations, shared lunches, and longer visits. She was drawn to him not by pity, but by something deeper. Tom was unlike anyone she had ever met. He was honest, raw, and full of quiet strength. And Tom, who had never known affection without consequence, found something pure in her attention. He found peace. Their love blossomed like a wildflower between the cracks of a sidewalk, unexpected, fragile, yet full of life. But not everyone saw it that way. When Jerry's parents discovered her relationship with Tom, they were furious. They couldn't understand how their daughter, the girl they had raised with so much care, could fall in love with a homeless boy with no education, no family, and no future, at least not in their eyes. They gave her an ultimatum: leave him or leave the house. She chose love, thrown out with nothing but a small, bad, and a burning heart. Jerry ran to the only person who had ever truly seen her, Tom. He held her close beneath the same awning where they first met, shielding her from the rain, whispering promises he had no way of keeping, but meant with all his heart. They started a life together from nothing. No home, no jobs, not even clean clothes to spare. They found a tiny room to rent in an old building with peeling paint and a leaky ceiling. Tom kept polishing shoes. Jerry found work as a waitress in a small diner. The world wasn't easy on them, but they were together, and that made all the difference. As time passed, they learned to hustle, to survive, to dream beyond their present. They started small businesses selling second-hand clothes, snacks, offering cleaning services. Every failure became a lesson, every small win a step forward. Years later, they made the bold decision to open a restaurant of their own. It was a tiny space at first, but their warmth and dedication turned it into something special. People came not just for the food, but for the love they felt within its walls. That restaurant grew into something grand, a five-star hotel with their names on the sign, a symbol of everything they had fought for. Tom and Jerry became millionaires, not just in money, but in love, in resilience, in joy. They had three beautiful children who grew up with stories not of fairy tales, but of real strength and real love. Their home echoed with laughter, and their hearts were full. They proved to the world that no background, no hardship, no judgment can stand against a love that's real. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.